kidding me? You want to sit at your mouse clicky job. They want to get rid of the mouse click. They're going to replace the mouse clicky jobs with AI, and you're going to have to sit there and put together computer server parts because you never got your HVAC certification. The last job left in America for human beings is going to be building the HVAC to keep the server farms cool enough so we can do AI war with no one. Oh, stop talking about egg prices. Why are you bringing up it? You are the one. 5%. I have a question. What happened to this campaign promise? What happened to this campaign promise? All across Pennsylvania, every highway was dotted with these signs. You said Trump low prices. Now Tariff Trump just raised all prices 25%. What happened? J.D. Vance stood in grocery stores and said egg prices up. What happened? What happened to promises made, promises kept? You're giving a speech tonight. You're going to stand in front of all of Congress. You're going to stand in front of all those Republican congressmen. You're going to stand in front of Dave McCormick and other senators, and you're going to say promises made, promises. This was everywhere in Pennsylvania. It's a swing state. You promised us low prices. Everything just went up 25%. You promised us higher stock market. Stock market's down 5%. There are percentages everywhere that are dropping. What happened to this campaign promise, Trump? Tariff Trump, what happened? We want to tell you thank you. We want to tell the Republican congressmen thank you. But they're no longer doing town halls because they're saying that the constituents that are showing up are all paid protesters or secret Democrats. I want to know what happened. What happened to this campaign promise? Tariff Trump, please. I just want to say thank you for the campaign promises. Hey, Tariff Trump, since everything just... President Trump declared that it was, in fact, Liberation Day, his giant tariff policy that he just dropped on the market unilaterally, probably unconstitutionally. Trump's reciprocal tariffs imposed hundreds of billions of dollars in new taxes on Americans, be the largest tax increase since the Revenue Act of 1968. One of the biggest tax increases on American consumers in the history of America. And it's going to cost American consumers, it will cost American producers who use inputs from other countries. The Dow Jones Industrial Average plummeted immediately more than 1,000 points. The S&P 500 plummeted more than 3%. The NASDAQ plummeted almost 4.5%. There are real-world implications for this sort of stuff. Trade wars are, in fact, not good and not easy to win, particularly if you don't actually have a plan. It is predicated on a bad idea of how international trade works. A fundamental misunderstanding of trade deficits. Trade deficits they're an accounting procedure. Trade deficits have pretty much nothing to do with the health of an economy. I can name you a period in American history where there was a fairly large surplus in America's balance of trade. The entire Great Depression. President Trump declared that it was, in fact, Liberation Day, his giant tariff policy that he just dropped on the market unilaterally, probably unconstitutionally. Trump's reciprocal tariffs imposed hundreds of billions of dollars in new taxes on Americans, be the largest tax increase since the Revenue Act of 1968. One of the biggest tax increases on American consumers in the history of America. And it's going to cost American consumers, it will cost American producers who use inputs from other countries. This three-time voting Trump supporter, disabled veteran, and former employee of the IRS didn't think that Trump would come for him too, but he was just fired by Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Check this video out. And by the way, my name is Doug. I'm a Democrat congressional candidate in California's 3rd District, fighting hard against Donald Trump and Elon Musk and my local MAGA representative, Kevin Kiley. Please consider donating to my campaign. Link is in the profile. Check it out.
Who's a Monmouth veteran who says he didn't deserve this.
Yeah, I just feel like I've just been swept up in a dust pan and thrown out.
James Diaz started his job at the IRS office in Galesburg last April. First as a tax advisory specialist, then a few months later as a fuel compliance officer, a move he took as a promotion with a pay raise.
This right here is my termination letter.
A week ago today, Diaz was fired, receiving a letter from the Federal Office of Personnel Management.
Here's where it comes. Taking into account your performance and in light of mission needs, the agency finds that your continued employment at this agency is not in the public interest.
Diaz is a combat veteran. He served in the Army during the First Gulf War. After working as a truck driver and in manufacturing factories, he got his college degree in 2020.
I am upset, mad, and just confused at how they could treat people who put their life on the line for the country, who put themselves in harm's way, can be treated like this.
He says his OMP letter implies he was underperforming, something he calls a lie.
This was was my first boss's narrative on my performance.
Diaz showed us his performance reviews.
You consistently take steps to identify and avoid work delays. You attempt to use your time in an efficient manner. Whether waiting on customers, researching, or other duties aside, you keep yourself constantly busy with productive work. Absolutely directly contradicts what I've got in that OPM letter.
He took pride working for the federal government. Now, as he's left to find a new job, all he feels is frustration.
I voted for Trump, and I still support, a lot of his policies, but I don't necessarily support the method that he's implementing them. Like, to me, there's no thought behind it. It's just chop and roll, and then we'll fix it at the other end. A lot of us didn't deserve this.
Diaz is attending the State of the Union on Tuesday with Congressman Sorensen. For now, he plans to get his CDL to drive trucks again while he looks for another job. I voted for him for lower grocery prices. He promised me cheaper prices on groceries. And that has not happened. Not only has that not happened, I am getting my food stamps taken. I am getting my cash assistance taken. I am getting my Section 8 taken. I am getting all my welfare governments taken. I did not ask for this. I would not have voted for him if I knew this was going to happen.
Do you know what drives me insane about these people that say that if I would have known, I wouldn't have voted for him, or I did not vote for that? Yes, you did. The first thing that bothers me is, yes, you did. You see, you voted for those things. You just thought it would happen to someone else. You were perfectly fine with other people losing programs, losing things that would benefit them. You just didn't think it would touch you. You thought you were safe from losing these programs. And the other part is they say they didn't know. Bullcrap. Bullcrap. The left, independents, lots of different economic experts, doctors, scientists have been screaming about all the horrible things that Donald Trump would do. We told you about Project 2025. We told you how many times his name was listed in Project 2025. And we told you how many of his own staffers were in there as well or helped write it. But you guys didn't believe us. You guys said fake news. We tried to warn you. You didn't either want to listen, or your bigotry and your racism, your homophobia, and your sexism didn't allow you to see what was coming. So the bed that you made, you now have to lie on. The sad thing is that so many of us are in the same bed with you, but we didn't vote that way. We knew that these things were going to happen. We knew that this was going to cause havoc for everybody. And look, I'm sorry for you. I feel horrible that you're going to lose all these benefits, but you did vote for this. So if you want something to change, I suggest you call your congressperson and tell them to put a leash on Donald Trump and stop him in Congress. I suggest, instead of just coming on this app and whining and complaining about what you yourself created, you call your representative and do something about it. Otherwise, we here on the left and independent, we don't care. We warned you. All my love.
A woman in West Virginia who was one of Donald Trump's biggest supporters now regrets her vote for Trump because he fired her from the federal government. Just take a look at the clip.
This flag used to hang there.
This was the flag Jennifer Piggott proudly hung outside her home during campaign 2024.
We had the flag. I had the shirt. I was a MAGA junkie.
A MAGA junkie who thought her government job would be safe with Donald Trump in office. She was wrong.
I cried. It's scary, it's a really scary thing, and I was embarrassed. He's a good boy.
Piggott was abruptly fired last month from the Treasury Department's Bureau of Fiscal Service, based here in Parkersburg, West Virginia. The reason given for the firings of 125 probationary employees at the Bureau? Poor performance.
I had my last review on the 31st of January, and I had the highest rating that you can get on a review, less than 21 days before I was terminated for my performance.
You voted for Donald Trump.
I did.
Do you regret that vote?
Yes, I do. To cut the knees out of the working class Americans just doesn't make sense to me. I expected more from President Donald Trump.
Since speaking out, Piggott says she's received death threats.
please explain to me, who raised these people? What the fuck is wrong with them?
We are huge Trump supporters. If you didn't get the email on Monday, you're safe. And I'm like skipping down the halls, right? Like, you know, I get to stay. Wednesday, late afternoon, I received a notice that I have an appointment, a Teams appointment with my supervisor on Friday at 9 o'clock. So I knew that I wasn't safe anymore.
You were skipping down the hall. You were so excited when you thought you were safe. You knew others were suffering and gonna suffer, but you knew you were safe. You were cool with it.
Cutting costs and waste and fraud and. We love that big picture. I love that big picture. My friends, you know, we were excited about that because it is true.
I could just picture you and your friends, glasses of cheap fucking wine, just laughing over others and how others are gonna get affected.
The common theme is, you know, we voted for this. You knew this was coming, but we didn't. Like, nobody that I've talked to understood the devastation that having this administration in office would do to our lives, but other people that we love and care about too within the Nevada
There
Valley.
it is. It's only when you're affected that you actually feel bad about something. You don't have any regrets for everyone else. It's that you got affected. You're despicable. You're disgusting. How does it feel?
It's hard. It's wrecking.
Good. Somebody, please explain.
These MAGA influencers are breaking at the seams. Dave Portnoy going online, crashing out. I mean, he was sweating in that video. He was so mad that he lost $7 million crashing out. But he wasn't crashing out when they're laying off all these people. Everybody's losing their job. No, it was until he started losing money that he started losing faith in Trump. Ben Shapiro called Trump unconstitutional. I've never heard Ben Shapiro criticize Trump in that manner. It's because these niggas are starting to lose money. And the craziest part is a lot of people were thinking that, you know, this was going to affect just, you know, poor working class, middle class. But now you're seeing that everyone is taking a hit. I said this early on. It's not just going to be us. It's going to be everybody. It's going to be millionaires. Everybody don't take care of their money how y'all think they take care of their money. Some of these guys are Dave Portnoy, Ben Shapiro, they go on splurges. That's why they make the videos that they make. That's why they're controversial. That's why they continue to be controversial. They make a shit ton of money. And they put a shit ton of money back into the stocks and all that stuff as well. And now you seeing their bottom dollar is going out. So it's hard to get up there on a microphone when you losing money. I don't know, man. Fuck around and find out.
So when I hear people say, oh, I voted the way I did not expect to lose my job, or I voted the way I did not expect, you know, prices, grocery prices to be up there, because we were promised when Trump was campaigning, he said prices are going to be low. Or I voted the way I did because I didn't expect Medicare to be cut, I didn't expect my insurance to be cut. So basically what they're saying is, they voted the way they did because they expected, you know, these results to affect other people, other minority, other group, but not them, especially when it's cut across the board. When it comes to government, when they make a decision, it does not choose who or what. It usually cut across the board, especially now. For example, when you look at USAID, when they cut the whole USAID, it did not choose whether you're white, you're black, whether you're Latino, it doesn't matter. As long as you're working under the federal, you're a federal worker working under USAID, the whole, it cut across the board. That's what happened, and the results are here. Veterans, the way some of them come here, they're recording themselves, say, oh, I did not expect to lose my veterinary benefits, and now it's affected me. I wish I never voted the way I did. So literally what you're saying is, you voted the way you did, you expected to affect someone else, but not you. But since it has affected you, now you are regretting. Well, this is what they call FAFO season. It continues. You were told by experts, you were told by doctors, you were told by scholars that this is what he's going to do. And by the way, let me correct. When he campaigned, he said this is exactly what he's gonna do. He did not mince word, he did not lie. And now he's in power, now he's the president of America, and he's implementing exactly what he said he will do. So when I see people complaining, when I see people say, oh, I wish I never voted the way I did, I wish I could go back in time and change the way I did, well, it doesn't work like that in reality. These are the consequences, and this is what you guys need to understand. This is the time where you need to fasten your seat belt, bite the bullet, because these are the results, these are the consequences. For the next 4 years, you're going to feel the pain, the reality hitting hard of the consequences of your action on how you voted. Because these tariffs, the common America is the one who's gonna feel the pain. You're going to feel the pain where it hurts. And do you know where it's gonna hurt you the most? When you're going to buy groceries, when you go to the supermarket and you're being told, oh, the American goods are very expensive. Oh, when you want to buy insurance, you're being told, oh, it's very expensive. When you want to go buy your car loans, you're going to be told, oh, it's very expensive. When you're going to buy anything, you're being told it's very expensive, or it's not available because it's very expensive, or the supply chain has been disrupted. And that's the result of the way you voted. These are the consequences. So the next 4 years, learn from this. Come the next general election, you're going to do your research and you vote what's best for you, so that you avoid situations like today. America, this is fast purple season, and this is what you voted for. Let me know, what are your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you guys. And please guys, please subscribe to my channel.